Good morning and welcome back to my channel. It's Saturday the 24th of May 2025 and it's about 9:15 in the morning. Right, I'm just going to kick straight off with what's for the basket. This week it's just a jar of Nescafe vanilla coffee because it's in the cupboard. I have a little cupboard where I keep things for the basket and that's what came out first this morning. Okay, another thing I want to show. Gordon's alcohol-free gin. Now you might think, why alcohol-free? Well, if I fancy a long G&T, 50 mils of this is half a sin. 50 mils of proper Gordon's gin is 7 sins. And unless I'm planning to get bladdered and drink half the bottle, it's the taste I'm looking for and the fact of having a cold, relaxing drink in my hand on a hot night, or a hot afternoon, or even a hot morning. So this is 10 quid off Amazon, it's alcohol free, and if I mix that with Schweppes Slimline Tonic, that's free, which is what I generally do because I don't like paying for Fever Tree and then having to sin it, because even Fever Tree Light is sins. And I like to spend my sins on food. Joe always says to me, don't drink your calories, don't drink your sins. So half a sin for a tall glass of G&T with ice in it, that's fine by me. Okay, just a little something to Leanne. Just been watching Leanne's video. Congratulations, Leanne. 9.5 stone off, £5.5 to go to your 10 stone award. You are slaying it. Is that what you said? Well done. I'm really, really chuffed for you. And you went out and celebrated by buying handbags. And I like the idea of the Ralph Lauren one. It sounds really pretty. But I celebrated my completing 1 year on plan by going out and buying a bag. So great minds think alike, but mine's dead practical. Mine's just a Levi big shoulder bag, could throw my laptop in it, could put my Slimming World folder in it, which is what I want it for. I want it so when I go to group on a Tuesday, I can just throw in what's for the basket, any other bits and bobs I've got for people that sometimes people ask me to pick things up for group that they can't have access to. It's got a nice pocket inside. It's got 2 big pockets on the back, which I think a better design idea would have been if you made those look like 2 pockets on your bum, like the back of your jeans. But they obviously need me to design for them. Anyway, well done, Leanne. And as I say, great minds think alike. I love bags. Okay. This week, the thumbnail picture is a bowl of salad, which, God, I'd be lost without my hands to talk with, wouldn't I?
Fruit.
Joe, did I say salad? It's because I was thinking fruit salad. Right, okay, let me start again. This week's thumbnail picture is a bowl of fruit. Because I completed 1 year at my group this week, Joe made up a bowl of fruit as the raffle prize. I wanted to give something back. I wanted to say thank you because I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have completed a year without being at a group. Now my group changed when I'd been there, 7, 8 months because we got a new consultant. That's been okay. It's working so far. I'm enjoying it. I liked the first consultant I went to, but situations change. So now I've been with this group for a year, I look back and think to myself, there are some real characters in the group. There are people who make me laugh every week. There are people who give me hope every week. There are people who inspire me every week. I mean, I could name some of these people, but it wouldn't be fair because what said in group is supposed to stay in group. But there are people in that group who have a real impact on image therapy. And I come out of the room, go back to the car, and I've always got food for thought. And I'm so grateful for that, because if I just sat in a meeting every week where they were like dummies and came out thinking, well, that was boring, I'd never get anywhere. I need that help and encouragement, support, motivation. All of those things are in image therapy if we contribute them or if we look for them. So yeah, that's the bowl of fruit that he did for the group, and it looked really good and it was really good. So consequently I've been eating figs this week because he put figs in the bowl, and I've been eating figs this week and really loving them. I think they're a free food. In fact, I'm sure they're a free food. So let's move on from there. My results for the week. On Tuesday, I had been on plan for 1 year. Now, when I say on plan for 1 year, that's exactly what I mean. When I joined group, I promised myself, and I promised my friend who was, well, dying at the time, that I was going to do this, and I was going to do it 100%. And I wanted to see what results I would get if I actually fully committed to plan and didn't take the day off after I got weighed, and didn't take my birthday off and Christmas off and Easter off and Valentine's Day off and every bank holiday off and Halloween off and all the things in the past I've used as excuses. I would have taken anybody's birthday off. It could have just been a neighbour or somebody I overheard on the bus. Any excuse for me to take time off. I always took time off on weigh day. Always. I kidded myself it didn't matter because I got a week to get it off, to catch up, to pull it back. But when I went back this time, I wanted to do it differently. I didn't want to have to be chasing a weight loss. I wanted, as Joe puts it, the weight loss to chase me. I didn't want to be worrying about it, stressing about it, anxious about it. Got enough anxiety and stress and worry in my life. I don't need to add my own crap to it. So I went back to group, I made a commitment, 100% on plan. Now, some people may say, yeah, she never did that. I don't mind what people think. I don't care if people doubt me. I am my own person and I am confident in what I'm doing. I have done 365 days on plan and I have loved every minute of it. Because there's been no resentment, there's been no anger, there's been no fear of missing out. There's been lots of joy of missing out. But it's been marvellous. And I feel so much better for doing it. So let me give you my results over the year. I've had 3 gains. At week 5, week 10, week 21. I gained ½ pound, then a pound, then ½ pound. But I was on plan. So there was no, oh my God, I've let myself down. Oh my God, I've got to pull it back for next week. I just kept going. Over the 52 weeks, I've had 8 maintains. No explanation, no, well, I mean, I usually only kind of eat to lose ½ pound, that's my goal, but just carried on. Yeah, I got a maintain. That was because I got weighed on the Tuesday morning. If I'd got weighed on the Monday or the Wednesday morning, I might have lost, I might have gained. Our bodies fluctuate every day. So, 3 gains, 8 maintains, which means I had 41 losses. I have never, when looking back through my old books, even when I was with Naomi, I have never achieved 41 losses out of 52 weeks before. And I'll tell you something, it feels good. I like it. I also like the feeling that I can get a maintain. Because that's where that's where I'm travelling to. I'm travelling to the land of getting back on the maintain train, which was what I videoed about 10 years ago. When I'm on that train, I want to stay on that train. Now sometimes I might be in the front carriage, I might be under that. I'm not going to have a target, that's another thing. I never have an intention of having a target. Nothing further from my mind than setting myself up to fail with a target. I'm no good at goals and targets. But sometimes I might be in the front carriage, I might be, hovering at the bottom of a healthy weight. Sometimes I might be 3 or 4 pounds up, which is what is fine. But one thing I'm not going to do about it is I'm not going to beat myself up over it. Because nobody out there who looks relatively, quotes, normal, has their weight stamped on their arse. And neither will I. And that's another thing when I'm on the subject. There's going to be no more talk at all on my channel about dress size, clothes size, anything. And if I do it without thinking, pull me up on it and bore me out. Because it's not necessary. I'm a 68-year-old woman. I've been a size 8, I've been a size 10, I've been a size 12, but I've also been a 22, 24, 26 and virgin under 28. I don't care today. As long as I feel comfortable in my clothing, I don't care what the size label is. I can't see it, it doesn't matter. And me coming on here and going, oh look, my trousers are a size 10, does that encourage anybody? Or does that just make somebody feel Oh shit, mine are a size 22. I don't want to do that to people. I don't want to do it to myself. When I, last week on the camera, was wearing size 10 trousers from Marks and Spencer's, on the Monday we went into town, went into Marks, and I was going to buy a couple of pairs of trousers. I wanted a couple of pairs of smart tailored type trousers. And we found 2 pairs. One pair were in an extra short, which is me. I am extra short. One pair were in a short. They don't usually sell extra short in store, but they've got them in because of the cyber attack. Right, okay, so I buy one of each. I buy, and I look at them and I think, geez, wide? I'm going to buy 14 in that one and a 12 in that one. I'll see which one fits me. Well, I can tell you now, neither of them did. The 14, they were both high-waisted, which also is not really me because I haven't got much of a waist. I'm a bit straight. But the high-waisted 14s didn't meet by 3 inches at the waist. The rest of it, you know, they were a bit big here, whatever. But the high-waisted 12s, they did fasten. Now, hang on a minute. Those ones should have been 2 inches bigger than those ones. But the high-waisted 12s were in the short, which seemed to be too long. But they had like a cuffed bottom. I'd have had to actually have them, take them to the tailor and have them shortened above the cuffed piece because they were like ankle grazer types. And I thought, this is doing my head in. How can there be a 10 on a Saturday and on a Monday, the 12s fit me, but the 14s are too small? So I took them both back. I got my 50-odd quid back and I thought, sod it, I'm not doing this to myself anymore. The previous week I'd wanted a sort of sleeveless top to go under a jacket, you know, like a suit jacket style jacket. And we went into Marks and I found the one I wanted and I said to Joe, can you get it me in a 14 and a 16 because I'm not sure what size I'd be. They didn't have either. They had an 8, a 10, a 22 and an 18. So he passed me the 18 and I held it up and I said, it's on the wrong hanger. This is not an 18. He said, it is, it says on it. Okay, I'll take it and try it on. It was too small. I looked like a sausage in a skin. And it was an 18. The top I'm wearing today is 14, probably medium, I don't know. But why am I doing this to myself? Because even if that top had fit, who would have known what size it was except me? So I'm not doing it to myself anymore. If I could see, I'd cut the labels out of all my clothes because I'm bloody fed up with this. And I'm not coming on here anymore and saying, oh, my trousers are size 12, my tops are that's it. I'm done, finished. Thank you. Thank you for your patience with me. Right, I gave you a little list, Joe. What?
No, you want to talk about clothes sizes?
Yeah, I've done that.
Pastures new, gym and dealing with fears.
Ah, yeah, this is the biggie this week. Right, pastures new. I've said on my channel loads of times over the last 9-10 years, I will never, ever, ever join a gym. I don't like exercise. I love walking. I could walk all day long some days, but I do not like organised exercise. I can't do gym classes, thank God. There are some benefits of being blind. Can't do any of that. I don't want to go do Zumba, aerobics, whatever it is people do in these classes, HIIT classes, whatever. No interest. But we have been talking lately about the fact that I'm not very strong. And it seems to be the lighter I get. Let me just jump backwards. I told you how much I'd lost whatever over a period of a year, but I didn't tell you what I weighed in at this week. I completed my year on a maintain, which gives me a total loss of 57.5 pounds or 4 stone 1.5. Now, to some other people or younger people, 4 stone 1.5 in a year is not incredible. But to me, it's bloody marvellous. Because I didn't think I could do that. I was trying to lose 2 stone in the year. So, anyway, back to the gym. So we talked earlier in the week about me joining a gym because I went to take the top off a bottle of water and I couldn't do it. And Joe went, you can't unscrew a bottle of water. I said, no, neither can I open my jars of pickles. I've just got no strength in my hands and arms. And it's like all the things you watch about getting older is it's really important to keep up your muscle strength. When you lose weight, you lose muscle. You've got to work on it, whatever age you are, I believe. But I know at my age, I have not got the strength in my arms today that I had 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So Joe and I talked about it. We talked about, could we find time for me to go to a gym? And we decided, yeah, we can fit it in on a Thursday and a Sunday. Then we talked about which gym should I join. Well, my first reaction was I never want to join his gym because that would be gross. It would be gross for him and it would be gross for me. He's got friends there. He's got programs there. He does lots of stuff there. I don't want to interfere with any of that. Who wants to drag along their elderly blind mother? I know if I'd said to him, I want to go to the gym you go to, he's so kind and thoughtful, he'd have done it for me. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to intrude on his life. I want my life. So I thought about the brand of gym he goes to, and there is one about, I don't know, 8 miles away. Thought about joining that. Also, there's one a bit closer, like the other side of Nottingham. I thought about joining that, but then we were laughing because to get in, you have your app and everything, and you go in the door and it's like a pod, and you're in the pod, and then you have to put in your code or your QR, whatever, to get out of the pod into the gym, and you can only do that one person at a time. Picture this, girls, me stuck in a pod, not going to do much exercise, and I can't get out because I can't find the QR code to scan it. Oh my God, that put the fear of God in me, being trapped in this pod, not going there. Then I was thinking if we drove to this other gym, say it's 8 miles each way, that's putting 16 miles on the car and using petrol every time. So that's like £32 miles a week plus petrol just to get there. Then you've got to pay for the gym. Right, where I live, if I was Robbie Williams on my luxury estate, the gym I'm going to would not be closer than his personal gym. Is literally across the field behind where I live. He could spit on it from my house. And it's like, why didn't I think of that before? Because I had rung up and asked the girl, I don't want to pay a monthly membership. I don't think I'm going to get enough, because the memberships around here are mega expensive. I don't think I'm going to get enough out of this gym to pay a monthly membership. So how much is it per visit? £8.90. And I thought about it, it's like 20 quid a week. That's nearly as much as a monthly membership. Anyway, when we went round to have a look on Thursday and have a chat with them, she said I could have a senior citizens yearly pass, which got me a discount on all the swimming and the gymming and all the activities in place. So that sounded like a good idea. £5.50 for the year, plus £4.30 every time I go to the gym. Can't knock that. So she said, do you want to try it? Do you want to work out 1 year? Yeah, we went up. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. But I'm not doing any cardio machines because every time I've joined a gym in the past, and I'm talking about years ago, I've walked on the treadmill. I've cycled on the cycles. Why am I paying to do that when I could walk on the street? And, you know, we had a cycle at home then, you know, an indoor exercise cycle. Why was I paying to go to the gym with my friend? And I'd be walking on the treadmill while she went and did her weights. And I'd be cycling on the cycle while she went and ran on the treadmill. It was just daft. And I hated it. I hate treadmills. I would not give a treadmill the time of day because it don't work for me. Because I do this. I pick my foot up, I put it down, and the floor moves. I need to stride out on terra firma. That's what suits me. So I do that. So we go to the gym. We did an upper body workout. Well, I had Joe laughing because he couldn't believe how weak I was. Some of the weights, some of the machines, it's like everything, well nearly everything, minimum weight, wasn't it? Because I couldn't shift them. There's this machine where you put your chest against it, you put your arms out, you pull it toward, you know, like handles towards it. It wouldn't move. Well, that was a laugh because first of all I couldn't reach the handles and the pad thing was as far forward as it went. So I now officially know I've got short arms. No wonder they don't go in my pockets when I'm looking for money. It was just, it was fun. It was real fun. So we devised this upper body workout. I want to just work on my upper body for the time being because I do a lot of walking. I don't want to mess my hip up because I had a lot of problems with my right hip. I'm scared of messing up my hip and not being able to enjoy my walking. So early doors, early days, upper body workout, really, really, really enjoyed it. And I never thought I'd say that. But he made it enjoyable. You know, if I'd have been with a total stranger, like a PT or something, and they'd have said, do this and do this and do this. But he made it fun. Well, a lot of the things when they were stretching me above my head and I could have just dangled there for hours. I mean, I loved it. So we're on a promise, we're going to go on a Thursday and we're going to go on a Sunday. Now, talking about fear, I was shit scared of joining a gym. Because for years I've watched videos about exercise, weight loss, Slimming World, Weight Watchers, calorie counting. When it comes to like, oh well, I've been doing this for long enough, I now need to bring in some exercise, people tend to go into panic mode and start talking about how you're going to gain weight. Because muscle weighs more than fat. Bullshit, it doesn't. A pound of muscle weighs a pound of fat weighs a pound. They might be a different size, but they weigh a pound. And then people start talking about turning their fat into muscle. Don't think so. And all this sort of stuff. And then they start saying, but I went to group the following week and I gained 5 pounds. That must have been water around my muscles. Well, I think that's what it must have been. All this sort of thing. And in my head, it's like, oh God, if I join a gym, I've lost 4 stone 1.5. I'm going to lose the plot. It's going to all come back because I've joined a gym. That's so stupid. That's false evidence appearing real, calling itself fear. I don't think that I am going to gain fat from joining a gym. I may gain a little bit of something, but it won't be fat. My body shape may change because it's inevitable. But it can only change for the better. It couldn't get much worse. So all of that fear that has stopped me doing the gym thing, you know, it stopped me walking when I was in the early stages of weight loss, back at 20 stone, because even when I got to the stage when I could walk, I feared walking in case I put weight on from exercising. Been through all this before, Jane. Stop it. You are not going to gain fat unless you overeat. And when my hands are full of weights and pulleys and Lord knows what at the gym, I'm not going to be stuffing my face, am I? And I think Joe would agree with me. It may make a difference. Every change makes a difference, negative or positive. But I think the only difference it's going to make to me, actually going to a gym, is going to be a positive change. Because yeah, my body composition might change. Yeah, I might get stronger, but they're not going to make me fat. And what I'm really uncomfortable about is putting the weight back on. The only way I'm going to maintain the current loss or lose more weight slowly and gradually is by what I eat. Now, it's been an interesting experiment this week. So I always say on here, I don't like salad, and I don't. But this week, for some stupid, crazy reason, I decided to buy salads from Sainsbury's. Joe chopped it all tiny for me because I don't like leafy stuff. I mixed it in with my normal salad, so not replaced my grains and my soybeans and my rice and my quinoa and everything, not replaced that with salad leaves, but added it to my salad. I stand here, hand on heart, and I'll tell you, I have never been so bloody hungry in all the time I've been on Slimming World.
I'm sorry, but you're coming up on 25. You got a little while.
So the salads are stopping from today, and I'm just going back to what I usually eat. I love the food I eat. Sometimes I can be very repetitive with my 5 Rivitas and my full fat cottage cheese and my mountain of pickles and my 3 pieces of fruit for lunch. but it's never done me any harm. And I do have 5 Rivitas, not 4, and don't tell me I'm wrong, it's not a B choice, I sim the extra on. Anyway, it's been a brilliant week. All in all, it's been really interesting. So I'll be back next week with my results, and I'll let you know if I'm still loving the gym. Okay, cheers.